Tonight on Coyote News, one campus organization is donating more than $10,000 to fight cancer. And learn how students can receive help with their taxes. I'm John Weatherington.
And I'm Kathleen Surrey. South Dakota is closer than it's ever been to passing a statewide ban on texting while driving. But the House and Senate differ on their versions of the bill. And find out how students are providing safe drinking water for people thousands of miles away.
Plus, a USD pole vaulter broke the school record and is ranked first in Division I. First, the headlines with Abby Pierce.
A former South Dakota State University student was sentenced to 8 years in prison yesterday after pleading guilty to intentionally exposing another person to the AIDS virus. Demetrius Kolaites admitted in January to not using a condom during sexual intercourse with another student who didn't know Kolaites is HIV positive, which he has been his entire life. Kolaites' attorney says people from across the country reached out to his client to show their support. The Texas ban on same-sex marriage has been struck down by a federal judge. The decision overturns current Texas laws forbidding gays and lesbians to legally marry. Judge Orlando Garcia says one of the court's responsibilities is to ensure all individuals are treated fairly under the law. Similar conclusions have been reached in federal courts in Utah, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Virginia. There are 17 states that allow same-sex marriage. And those are your headlines.
On Sunday, one campus organization teamed up to honor those who have fallen to and those who are still fighting against cancer. The group raised over $10,000 during their Relay for Life event. Each year, Colleges Against Cancer raises money for research with their Relay for Life event, with all of the proceeds going towards the American Cancer Society.
The event is centered around a walk on the Dakota Dome track, which is lined by luminaries. These small white paper bags are in honor or in memory of individuals who have been affected by cancer. But walking wasn't the only type of activity offered at this event. A photo booth, face painting table, and even a pie throwing event lined the outside of the track. Colleges Against Cancer is a campus organization that lets students get involved with raising money for the American Cancer Society.
We put on fundraising events throughout the year, including Bowling for Boobs in the fall. And then this is our big fundraising event, Relay for Life. And then we also do a Protect Your Balls dodgeball tournament.
Although Relay for Life's main goal is to help survivors of cancer, the event is also held to remember those who have already passed away from the disease.
My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. At the time, we didn't realize how bad it was, but stage 4, when you get to know the lingo, is the worst it can possibly be. So my mom went through 2.5 years of chemotherapy. My dad and I took turns driving her to chemo. It was always on Friday mornings. That way it didn't conflict with her class schedule because she was also a professor. And she just battled really, really hard for 2 years, trying to knock it out with the chemo. And they went up to Mayo in May of last year, and the doctors told her there was nothing more they could do. So she came home and kind of started preparing, and she passed away on June 13th.
Peterson says in Clay County alone, there are 100 people who have survived cancer. And at the end of the day, Relay for Life at the Dakota Dome raised $10,654.45 for the American Cancer Society.
For Coyote News, I'm Kathleen Surrey.
South Dakota is closer than it's ever been to a ban on texting while driving. But separate bills passed in the state Senate and the House differ on key points that require reconciliation before becoming law. The state Senate voted 26-7 on Friday to adopt a texting while driving ban. Senator Mike Valley, a longtime supporter of the ban, says some concessions were made to allow its passage. The Senate approved an amendment that allows law enforcement to issue a ticket for texting and driving only if the driver is pulled over for something else. This would make the law a secondary offense, which includes a $100 fine. The House passed an earlier bill that also recognizes texting while driving as a secondary offense, but it only carries a $25 fine. Unlike the Senate's, the House's version of the bill overrides local texting bans, such as the one in Vermilion. If the House and Senate aren't able to resolve their differences over the bills, the ban could go to a conference committee at the end of the state legislative season in March. Coming up after the break, USD students are raising money for safe drinking water in Africa. And one campus program is helping to ease the stress of tax season. Stay with us. While Africa may be thousands of miles away, USD students are raising money to help build structures for safe water there. Wells for Africa is a project designed to provide clean drinking water for Zambians. College students from across the Sioux Empire have partnered with Overland Missions in raising money to build wells in villages without any immediate water access. Through combined funds, the Sioux Empire area has already raised around $2,000 for the project. One well costs about $7,500 to build, and students hope to raise at least that much money by the end of the semester. If you'd like to get involved with the project, contact Bethany Fursick or any member of the Crew organization.
For many people, including college students, tax season is not a favorite time of the year. But as Coyote News' Victoria Harmony reports, one USD program is offering help to ease the stress.
For the average college student, tax season isn't fully underway until April. However, for those of you that want to get an early jump on your taxes, USD's VITA program is providing assistance for students and those among the community. VITA, otherwise known as the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, is a free public tax service tool utilized by members of the Vermilion community.
At the beginning of law school, they tell you about 20 different activity programs that you can do, and volunteer income tax assistance is one of those. It's one of the few that actually give you practical experience, so that's why I was interested in it.
John Glover, the interim associate dean of USD's law school, also gave his thoughts on the VITA program.
They're very active in the community, very engaged in projects like this and many, many others to not only learn themselves, but also give back the community, develop that sense of what we call pro bono service, where you're doing things for the community. And it's really a win-win situation. And I have to say that students today, particularly law students, are very engaged in what goes on in the local community.
In order to qualify for the VITA program here on campus, your income per year must be below $52,000. Also, there are certain things the local campus cannot provide, including a cancellation of debt and health savings. Lacine says in order to have your taxes filed, you're required to have with you your social security card, your personal identification, your W-2s, tuition, scholarship, or any other information of that sort, as well as any tax document you may find in the mail. The VITA program has been gaining outreach within the local community, including a Facebook page which details all events being held on campus this year. You can also set up private sessions with any of the students involved with the program via the Facebook page. For Coyote News, I'm Victoria Harmony.
Last week, Coyote News' Taylor Moore interviewed presidential candidate Jess Peterson. This week, Taylor is live in the muck with USD's other presidential candidate, Tyler Tordson, on his preparation for the elections. Taylor?
Thanks, John. I'm here with SGA Senator and another possible future president of SGA, Tyler Tordson. Thank you so much for coming, Tyler. So, we would all like to know, why did you choose to run this year?
Well, I chose to run because being involved in SGA has been an amazing experience over the last year. And I think that me, along with Dustin Stanger, have the experience and the perspective to really bring positive change to USD.
Okay, so what are some of the things that you plan on implementing as president of SGA, if elected?
Sure. Well, our platform is focused around reconnect, rekindle, revamp. And basically what all that caters down to is giving SGA back to the students. There's a blatant disconnect out there with SGA, and our goal is to really bring SGA back to the students and make it work for the students and the student organizations again.
Okay, so if elected, how will you carry through with your goals?
We have a couple different checklists of ideas that we want to do to be able to implement different things to conquer all those goals. It's community relations, campus relations, a lot of internal and external factors that are going to go into that as well.
Well, there you have it. That was SGA Senator and another possible future president of SGA, Tyler Tordson. Live in the muck, I'm Taylor Moore.
Thanks, Taylor. The SGA debate will be broadcast live here on Channel 21 tonight at 7. Tweet your questions for the candidates at Coyote News using hashtag SGA2014 or comment on our Facebook page.
On this week's Coyote blog, Charlie Daldorf discusses personalities and animals.
Hello, everybody. While I was fighting off a lethal sickness last week, I had some time to think. I had some time to think about the world and all of its great mysteries. And at the end of my journey, I found the ultimate lesson about life. There are two types of people in this world, dog people and cat people. Dog people, as you would expect, are friendly and personable. They are social butterflies that befriend everyone that they know. They are the type of people that are tough to hate because everything about them is so awesome. They might be rough around the edges sometimes, but that's okay. You are a dog. Cat people, on the other hand, seek the greater riches in life. Some may say they are greedy. I say they are determined to meet their dreams. Oftentimes, they are misunderstood as being introverted and passive-aggressive. That is all part of their ploy for attaining wisdom. Can't live with them, can't live without them. You are a cat. Are you a dog person or a cat person? In the end, I am a falcon. For Kyle Blog, I'm Charlie Daldorf, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Charlie. After the break, learn how students can eat their lunch while listening to free live music, and find out how one sorority trained members to save lives. Stay tuned.
The National Music Museum is hosting their live Brown Bag music series throughout this semester. This past Friday's performers were A Touch of Brass. The brass quintet consists of 2 trumpets, a trombone, a French horn, and a tuba. The museum's music curator, Deborah Check-Reeves, says the Brown Bag program hosts performers from all over the world playing different genres of music.
I try to get a variety of programs so that no matter what kind of music you like, you'll hopefully find something that you like when you come to one of these programs.
The program's possibly expanding to night and weekend performances with the hopes of gaining a broader audience.
We don't want to lose our faithful noontime audience, but we want to try to reach out and hopefully get different people who can't come during noon. We really want to try to get more students to come.
These events are free and run Friday afternoons from 12:05 to 12:55. Participants are encouraged to bring a sack lunch and enjoy the music. The next scheduled performer is Matt D. on March 7th.
One of the university's oldest campus organizations hosted their 91st annual Strollers performance in Alf's Auditorium this weekend. Members of USD's 4 sororities paired with 2 fraternities to compete against each other with 15-minute variety shows. The performances were full of acting, dancing, and stunting. In between the acts, Strollers members performed comedic sketches. The team of Alpha Phi, Pi Kappa Alpha, and Phi Kappa Theta brought home the Grand Champion Trophy with their Disney-themed show. A portion of the proceeds from the event will go toward local charities.
On this week's Yote Report, Bailey Millen finds out how one campus organization is teaching and training its members about heart health.
On Monday evening, the Alpha Phi sorority held their weekly meeting in the muck. This week, the sorority members who came to the meeting spent their time becoming CPR certified along with Alpha Phis across the country.
We contacted our internationals about a program called Take Heart, Take Part, where about 20,000 other Alpha Phis across the nation and our chapter were involved in the hands-on CPR training.
Alpha Phi works with their philanthropy to set up events that raise cardiac awareness.
Alpha Phi, as an international organization, our philanthropy works for women's heart health, and we're paired up with the American Heart Association, and we all decided, I guess, that we would become CPR certified.
The American Heart Association has chosen February as its Cardiac Awareness Month, and Alpha Phi expanded their awareness by learning CPR.
This was one of the first things like this that we've ever done. I mean, we have all the supplies now, so I'm hoping to kind of make this an annual thing so our new members can get certified as well.
For the Yote Report, I'm Bailey Millen.
Coming up after the break, both men's and women's basketball teams brought home wins this weekend. And it's rivalry week. Stay with us.
Have you ever felt alone in a sea of people? You're silent, but screaming on the inside. Your tears are hidden behind a forced smile. 15% of those clinically depressed commit suicide. But those people aren't just numbers. They're your sister, your brother, your best friend. They're that person you put down the other day. Every 40 seconds, someone around the world commits suicide. Make the lost the found.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, it's rivalry week for both the men's and women's basketball teams. And one swimmer wins an MVP award at the Summit League Championships. I'm Nathan Ellenbecker.
And I'm Nicole Griffith. The USD women's track and field members excelled at the USA Track and Field Indoor Championship. Plus, sports commentator Courtney Sterrett gives her opinion about the first openly gay athlete to sign with a professional sports team. First, the headlines. Abby?
Outfielder Mike Trout signed a one-year contract with the LA Angels, which could lead to a bigger deal in the future. Trout, who is 22, signed the largest contract yet for a pre-arbitration player. The previous record was $900,000 signed to 2 players in 2003. Discussions have been circling between Trout and the Angels for a $150 million contract over 6 years. USD linebacker Tyler Starr competed well at the 2014 NFL Combine on Monday. Starr performed with 35 other linebackers from across the nation. He placed first in the 3-cone drill, 4th in the 20-yard shuffle, and 10th in the bench press. And those are your headlines.
USD standouts Megan Gleiser and Emily Grove placed high at the USA Track and Field Indoor Championships this past weekend. Gleiser placed 3rd in the high jump while tying her own school record. Grove placed 6th in the pole vault and was named Summit League Athlete of the Week after reaching a height of 14 feet 9.5 inches. The height set a new school record and ranks 1st in Division I. Back in Vermilion, the men's and women's teams each won 8 events at the USD Twilight Meet. These women were led by triple jump winner Annalise Hushley, who won the 60-meter hurdles, the 200-meter run, and the long jump. On the men's side, USD swept the top 5 places in the mile led by Brant Hashi. The Indoor Summit League Championships are this weekend in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The women placed 4th and the men placed 5th at the Summit League Swimming and Diving Championships last week. Both teams moved up a spot in the standings from last season. The Coyotes set 6 program records, had 80 lifetime best performances, and 101 season best performances. Grayson Heddering was named Diving Championship MVP after sweeping the 1 and 3 meter diving events. Herding's the 3rd Coyote to win an individual Summit League title, as well as the first diver to do so.
There may have been 14 ties and 18 lead changes in the USD women's basketball game against Western Illinois, but that didn't stop the Yotes from claiming a 79-76 victory. The Coyotes reached double figures, led by Nicole Seekamp with 18 points. Taya Heemiller almost had a triple-double with 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Western Illinois is the only team to beat USD at home this season after the 81-71 loss in January. The Coyotes host NDSU and SDSU this weekend to finish the regular season.
Trey Norris made a free throw with 1.5 seconds left as the USD men's basketball team defeated Omaha 87-86, and the team broke a 6-game losing streak to Western Illinois. 3 USD seniors, Kareem Rawson, Steve Tecker, and Trevor Gruce, were honored before their last home game for the Coyotes. USD knocked down 7 3-pointers and had 9 steals to put the game out of reach, winning 64-54. Rawson was the top scorer with 11 points, while Tyler Larson added 10 points and 6 rebounds. With the 2 wins, USD will be seeded no lower than 5th at the Summit League tournament.
The Summit League basketball tournament is next week, but as we just heard, this week is rivalry week. Coyote News' Tabario Ruffin spoke with a few players and coaches to find out what the week means to them.
Rivalry week is here. Coaches and players alike have taken notice. This week, the USD's men's and women's basketball team take on rivals North Dakota State and South Dakota State
for positioning in the Summit League tournament. Head coach Joey James tells us why he likes rivalry week, but keeps perspective on what it is all about.
It's exciting. It's intense. It's about the players. It's not about the coaches. I think they all leave it out there on the floor.
Senior Trevor Gruce tells us why these games are important.
For the tournament, that's huge. I mean, that's a big arena that's going to be packed. Some of these guys haven't played in that. Fortunately, like AT and Trey, they got to watch it last year, so that's good. Because I know like that can be a little bit of a change, you know, different elements and, you know, just that big time game.
Junior Brandon Boss tells us which one of the two teams he likes to play the most.
I'd say South Dakota State just because we get more fans here for the game. But I like playing both teams just as much. I mean, I'm not a fan of either one. Both are great teams, so it's always fun to play both of them.
The men play North Dakota State tomorrow at Fargo. For Coyote News, I'm Tabaria Ruffin.
Coyote News' Erica Arpan is live in the muck with USD football player Colin Buscarini and a player's perspective on rivalry week. Erica?
As you know, USD plays longtime rivals NDSU and SDSU this week and weekend, and the tensions are high. I'm standing here with student athlete Colin Buscarini to talk about the craziness that comes along with the week. Thank you for being with us.
Hey.
What does the rivalry week mean to you?
Rivalry week's everything. You know, when you first come here, you get told you got to win on D-days and you got to win on you got to beat state. It's your home turf, and you definitely got to come out there, and it's your pride on the line. Everything you work for and everything you do is, you know, I put on in this game.
Are there any special preparation that you or your team do before a rival game?
You know, I like to say we treat every game the same, but in reality, when it's state week, it's the intensity's up, people are on edge. People need to understand, like, this is your game, this is what you're here for, you got to claim your state, and it's our job to do that.
And what makes a rival game different from a regular game?
Just the idea that you're putting on the spot. People come to a lot of games, people, you know what I mean, they want to see a good game and they want stuff like that, but this is more pride of where you're going to school, where your alma mater is. This is people find identification in USD, and it's our job as the athletes to make it as proud and prideful place as possible.
All right, thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
Make sure you pick up your tickets to support your Coyotes this week and weekend. Live in the muck, I'm Erica Arpan.
Thanks, Erica. On this week's sports commentary, Courtney Sterrett shows her support on the first openly gay athlete to sign for a professional sports team.
Sunday night, Jason Collins made history by being the first openly gay player in not only the NBA, but the NHL, NFL, and MLB. He signed a 10-day contract and played his first game since April with the Brooklyn Nets. For that game, he wore the number 46 on his jersey, but he wants to change to number 98. Not only because that was his number when he played for the Celtics and the Wizards, but in honor of Matthew Shepard, the University of Wyoming student who died in an anti-gay hate crime. Just 2 weeks ago, NFL perspective Michael Sam came out as well. Both players have been receiving loads of support. Sam even tweeted at Collins, congratulating him on being courageous and how he can't wait to see him on the court. Being openly gay is a huge step, and I'm glad that Collins and other players are getting recognition for it. But what I really enjoy is how the media is also focusing on him as a basketball player, not the gay basketball player. The questions in the post-game interviews were not only about the historical aspect of the game, but other qualities like how he trained during his break and how he feels about playing again. We're so fortunate to live in an era where people are accepted to be who they truly are. Now Collins and Sam don't have to worry about what they can or can't say or do. They can be themselves and play the sports they love. This is only the beginning, and I'm sure what these athletes have done will inspire others to be more confident and stay true to themselves. For Coyote Sports, I'm Courtney Sterrett.
Thanks, Courtney. After the break, Chuck in the Muck asks students about the Winter Olympics and donate some blood. Stay tuned.
Not getting your message across clearly? Contact Kyle Creative for all your promotional needs.
Although completing your taxes can seem daunting, many people find that receiving money back after the fact is worth the work.
On this week's Out and About, we asked students how they plan on spending their income tax return.
I probably won't get any.
Probably just saving up for more college stuff.
And buying more clothes, because I love clothes.
Probably try to save it and help me pay for college.
Actually, I'm going to save it because basically I'm paying for school myself. So I work during the summer, so every little bit helps, I guess.
Spend it on food and gas and nothing fun.
Saving it.
I'm definitely filing them to get all that money back so I can buy a whole new wardrobe. Kidding, gotta pay for school.
I'm thinking about taking a trip. I'd like to do a little backpacking, so I might squirrel some money away for that.
I don't know if I'll have any money coming back.
Probably use it to pay for car insurance and stuff.
Probably go skydiving with it.
I'm going to see Miley Cyrus on my birthday.
I just put it in my bank account, and I usually save and invest it. I don't usually spend it on anything special.
I'll go on vacation.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Spend right away.
On this week's Chuck in the Muck, Chuck Gresser talks Winter Olympics and saves lives.
You know me from that TV show, Chuck in the Muck?
Yeah, totally.
Wow, that's weird. I only have like 1,800 views combined. So, do you like curling? Are you sure? Because your hair's kind of curly. Would you guys tell me what your favorite Olympic sport is?
I'm watching you on YouTube right now.
No? Okay. Well, what sports do you think you would be good at in the Olympics?
Underwater basket weaving.
I'm a rodeo person.
Oh, Winter Olympics, not South Dakota Olympics.
Not the cowboy downhill. That is in the category, is it?
What's your favorite Olympic sport?
I like figure skating
Why?
because I actually figure skate.
In the Olympics?
No.
Oh.
Skeleton.
And why is that?
It's interesting to me. It seems rather dangerous, and I don't know why anyone would do it.
Hey, can I ask you some questions?
I actually have to get a cup of coffee.
That is a lie, thank you. Hey, wanna be on TV? You can be a superstar. It is dangerous, isn't it? It's like base jumping, except it's sponsored by the Olympics. Hey guys, wanna be famous? Okay. Oh, whoa! Dude, have you tried those hand dryers? Have you though? Seriously? You stick your hands in and then like pull them up and down. Off the record, if you get me one of these Heartland or Kirkland sport drinks, I will be very happy with you. So do it.
Yeah, just have one.
Just do it. I can't donate blood while I'm doing a show, can I?
I think you should.
What are my chances of surviving, Doc? Do you watch the Olympics? My favorite sport is saving lives. This has been Chuck in the Muck. Now it's Chuck in a bus by the muck.
A new copy of the Volante hit newsstands today. Be sure to pick up a paper and read about this year's SGA candidates. That story and many others can be found online at volantonline.com.
That's all for Coyote News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
And to keep your TV turned to this channel for the SGA debate tonight at 7 o'clock. Or you can be a part of the live audience in the New Hearth Center conference room.
Tweet us your questions using hashtag SGA2014 or comment on our Facebook page. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.